How would you address a ghost? In Tracing a Romantic Relationship, The Penny Dropping by Helen Farish gives an answer to this question.
My name is Sylvie Jane Lewis, and I'm very excited to be reviewing this collection as part of the Uncritic scheme run by the Poetry Society and the T.S. Eliot Prize.
The Penny Dropping is rich with moments suggestive of an inside joke, windows into something private, as with the penultimate line of the first poem, tucked away in brackets. We watched from the restaurant at whose window we sat, and where we must have known, though we both claim not to, what was about to begin. With unflinching, direct address, the poems speak to a singular you, the ex-partner. The penny dropping opens with two epigraphs that declare the intention to set the story straight. One from T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland reads, "Shall I at least set my lands in order?" And the other from Charlotte Bronte's Villette. "It is right to look our life accounts bravely in the face now and then, and settle them honestly." But looking at these references in context, their affirmation of order begins to fracture. The Eliot reference is from the fragmentary, disorientating end of the poem, while Villette follows a woman too shy to express her romantic feelings. The reference chapter ends with the protagonist confronted by the gothic ghost of a nun. The penny dropping complicates its own directness, I think, through its desire to grasp a ghost. In this review, I will discuss three forms of haunting: ceremony and tradition, literary ghosts, and, inevitably, the romantic breakup. The poem Filling Station, Crete, delights in the premise of a wedding among strangers, as when the couple stumbled upon a wedding in a function room in the middle of nowhere. Recalling this obscure scene, the speaker imagines marrying her partner in this setting, and thinks of how comfortable it would feel. I wouldn't have hesitated, and I wouldn't have woken the next morning asking what on earth had possessed me. In its assertive statements, the poem frees itself from the constraints of a traditional wedding. But the poem is haunted by something else: the relationship that has since ended. The repetition of simple phrases such as "I wouldn't have" surfaces throughout the collection, like somebody circling around the same memory. There is a strong feeling, I find, of this wedding very much existing as a hypothetical, as a sort of daydream that this couple never really realistically entertained the notion of. Almost as if the only place that they could have gotten married was somewhere unfamiliar. Farish's poem, The Eve of St. Agnes, is haunted not only by the past relationship, but by the influence of John Keats. The page-long piece shares its name with Keats's 42-stanza narrative poem, and crystallises a memory of the couple enjoying poetry together. And here I was, sharing the fruits of his poem with you. On screen you can see St. Paul's Chapel at Stansted Park in West Sussex, said to have served as inspiration for the imagery in Keats's St. Agnes. Looking at it, I think of the sensitivity to colour that Farish inherits from Keats, though she turns to material realism rather than fantasy, as she describes the school uniform navy hard-backed Keats, which was plain, but for his name, written in silver on the spine. The poem speaks to its ghosts with fondness. Too subtle for either revival or exorcism, Farish enacts a gentle retrospective gaze on that morning when we discovered that the delicates of the language were one more thing that we could pass between us. The poem Legacy makes joking remarks about women who have filled the other woman role to the relationship, sparking in the speaker a dislike of women called Claire with an I, as with a colleague of yours who admired my cool socks. Though the legacy painted here is one of distrust, fans of singer Fiona Apple may be reminded of the song Ladies, which connects the women who have dated the same man, in this case through a kind of material solidarity, a lineage of objects left and then found in the man's home. At the end of the poem, the character of Claire with an I identifies a spectral, half-there quality in the speaker, causing her to reflect. Even when physically present, I was absent, like my mother, except surely not me. passing on a legacy of loneliness. Farish's poems often end with lyric turns like this. In their steady rhythm, they suggest a feeling of inevitability, fitting for a relationship that we know, going into the collection, is going to end.
Even when we engage with this relationship as a breathing, cinematic image, we recognise it as a thing of the past.
A series of revelatory snapshots. The penny dropping conjures nostalgia via an old Keats hardback, a pair of socks that may or may not be cool, a Madonna song from several Madonnas ago. In their brevity, these poems affirm the relationship as something that won't last, but is nonetheless worth cherishing. In speaking to the ghost of love through the language of immediacy, Farish resurrects the past for a moment, then lets it go.